In Matthew 9:18, if I could read this to you, there was one person whom Jesus followed. And this is what it says. While he was saying these things, behold, a synagogue official came and bowed down before him and said, my daughter has just died, but come and lay your hand on her and she will live. Let me pause there. I have 2 daughters and one on the way. And I promised that if my daughter was to die, I would not come to you collectively and say, hey, Jesus, my daughter just died. I would be hyperventilating. I would be in a panic. I would be shaking. I would have snot everywhere. I would be weeping. And in this story, what you have to understand is for this synagogue official to have bowed before Jesus meant that he forfeited everything he once stood for. In that moment, this man took off his title as synagogue official and he put the only title that mattered, which was father. This father comes to the feet of Jesus, weeping. And he says, my daughter has just died, but come and lay your hand on her and she will live. Next verse, 19. Jesus got up from the table and began to follow him. I've read this and I thought, man, what if this father would have accepted the reality that his daughter had died and that was it? What if this father would have said, well, I guess this just must be God's will that she's gone? I refuse to look at this generation and say, this is just how it's gonna be. I guess it's gonna be half-hearted, not true gospel following Christians in our day. I refuse to believe that narrative. In fact, I've read that it's not God's will that any man should perish eternally. I read something different. And this man in this verse, he puts on humility. He forfeits his title as a synagogue official. And he's even willing to suffer ridicule for what he believes is possible. We must see in this hour that when everyone is trying to label this generation, you must understand the narrative of what God is saying about them.